In 1968, the United States lost a hydrogen bomb. Not stolen, not hijacked. It simply vanished, and to this day, it has never officially been found. Somewhere beneath the frozen ice of Greenland, one of the most dangerous weapons ever built may still be resting, buried, silent, waiting. This is the true, declassified story of Thule Air Base, a Cold War disaster the Pentagon tried desperately to keep hidden. During the height of the Cold War, American bombers never stopped flying, patrolling the skies around the clock, armed and ready. Every aircraft carried a deadly secret in its belly, enough destructive power to end a war in minutes. One flight path mattered more than any other, a route stretching over Greenland, watching the Soviet Union's every move. The mission was codenamed Operation Chrome Dome, a constant airborne shield built on nuclear deterrence. Bombers loaded with thermonuclear weapons crossed the Arctic day and night, ready to strike within minutes of an order. One particular aircraft carried 4 hydrogen bombs, each one hundreds of times more powerful than Hiroshima. These missions lasted over 24 grueling hours. Fatigue crept into every corner of the cockpit. January 21st, 1968. What began as a routine patrol was about to become one of the most dangerous accidents in American history. The bomber approached Thule Air Base, deep in Greenland's frozen, isolated north, hundreds of miles from civilization. To fight off the freezing cold, the crew tucked foam seat cushions near a cabin heater vent. It was a small, careless decision, and it would prove catastrophic. The cushions ignited into flame. Within minutes, thick black smoke swallowed the cabin. The crew could barely see their own instruments. The pilot fought desperately to hold the aircraft steady as flames spread through the fuselage behind him. A frantic distress call crackled over the radio. Permission for an emergency landing at Thule denied. With the aircraft dying beneath them, one final order came through: abandon the plane immediately. 6 crew members ejected into the freezing Arctic darkness, parachutes snapping open against the black sky. One man did not survive the fall. His parachute never fully deployed. Seconds later, the burning bomber slammed into the frozen surface of North Star Bay with tremendous force. On impact, the conventional explosives packed inside the bombs detonated, tearing the aircraft apart. Thankfully, no nuclear explosion occurred, but something just as dangerous had already begun: radioactive contamination. Plutonium and radioactive debris scattered across miles of pristine Arctic snow and ice. At Thule Air Base, officers watched the distant fireball and immediately understood the scale of what had just happened. Washington was alerted within minutes. This was no longer just a crash. It was a nuclear emergency. The Pentagon moved fast, not only to clean up the wreckage, but to tightly control what the public would ever learn. In public statements, officials carefully downplayed the danger, choosing every word with precision. The world was told a simple story: an American plane had crashed near Greenland. Nothing more was said. Behind closed doors, the situation was far more explosive. Denmark had officially banned nuclear weapons on its territory, and Greenland belonged to Denmark. For years, the United States had secretly broken that very promise. The full truth nearly disappeared into classified vaults, hidden from history for decades to come. The cleanup operation began almost immediately. It was given a chilling code name: Operation Crested Ice. Over 700 workers labored in brutal sub-zero temperatures, scooping up contaminated snow by hand. More than 10,000 tons of radioactive ice, snow, and wreckage were carefully sealed inside metal barrels. The barrels were shipped thousands of miles away to South Carolina, buried, and never publicly discussed again. While the cleanup continued, engineers began the painstaking task of piecing the wreckage back together, searching for answers. 4 hydrogen bombs had been aboard that aircraft. Investigators managed to account for 3 of them. The 4th bomb was never recovered, and its disappearance would haunt the Pentagon for decades. The U.S. Navy quietly brought in a specialized deep-sea submarine built for one dangerous purpose: to search the ocean floor. It was called Star 3. Its top-secret mission stayed hidden from the public for years afterward. For months, divers and submersibles scoured the freezing, pitch-black depths of North Star Bay, searching inch by inch. Visibility dropped to near zero. The cold was unbearable, and the pressure at depth made every dive dangerous. Search teams combed through the seabed grid by grid, and grid by grid, they came up empty. By the end of 1968, months of searching had produced no trace of the missing weapon. The official search was quietly shut down. The Pentagon's final conclusion: the fourth bomb had been destroyed in the fire. But not everyone accepted that convenient explanation. Something about the story simply didn't add up. In 1981, journalists uncovered a leaked internal Navy document buried for over a decade. The document hinted at something disturbing: that the search had failed to recover an actual weapon, not just scattered debris. Danish scientists soon began asking the same uncomfortable question that Washington had tried so hard to bury. Former cleanup workers slowly began coming forward, decades later, describing details that never appeared in any official report. Many of those workers later developed serious, unexplained illnesses. Most believed radiation exposure was the cause. Lawsuits followed, dragging on for years as former workers fought for recognition and compensation. So what really happened to that fourth missing hydrogen bomb? Even today, there is no single agreed answer. The Pentagon's official position remains unchanged. The intense heat of the crash completely destroyed the weapon. Others believe something very different: that the bomb sank straight through the cracking ice before it could ever burn. If that theory is true, it may still be lying somewhere on the dark seabed of North Star Bay, undisturbed. Complete government documents on the incident remain classified, released only in small, heavily censored fragments. Nearly 6 decades later, the full truth of what happened that night is still locked away. The Thule disaster permanently changed American nuclear policy, forcing officials to confront the risks they had long ignored. Just months later, Operation Chrome Dome was completely and quietly canceled. Armed nuclear patrols flying over Allied territory were permanently grounded, ending an entire era of Cold War risk-taking. But for the people of Greenland who lived near Thule, the danger never truly disappeared. Later studies revealed elevated radiation levels in local wildlife, soil, and even in some longtime residents. For years afterward, Greenlanders demanded honesty from Washington, along with fair compensation for what had been done to their land. In 1995, compensation was finally paid to affected workers and residents. Many still say it fell far short of justice. In recent years, modern researchers have quietly returned to North Star Bay, armed with far more advanced technology. New high-resolution sonar scans have revealed strange, unexplained metallic shapes resting deep beneath the ice. None of these anomalies have ever been confirmed, but none have been fully ruled out either. Somewhere beneath that silent, frozen water, a lost piece of Cold War history may still be waiting to be found. A weapon powerful enough to destroy an entire city remains, officially, unaccounted for. And a government that, even now, has never told the complete story of what truly happened that January night. Thule was far from the only close call of the entire Cold War era. It was one of dozens of documented accidents involving American nuclear weapons around the world. Some bombs were lost at sea, others in remote deserts. Most of them, to this day, were never fully recovered. Of all these incidents, Thule remains one of the most haunting reminders of just how close disaster truly came. Somewhere out there, deep beneath the Arctic ice, America's lost hydrogen bomb may still be resting quietly in the darkness. A secret the world was never fully allowed to know, and one that may never be fully solved. If this hidden piece of history shocked you, there are dozens more untold Cold War secrets waiting to be uncovered. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the world's most dangerous secrets are just getting started.